Have you ever gazed at a flight map, that intricate web of lines connecting our world's great cities? You will see routes crisscrossing oceans and tracing the familiar shapes of continents. Yet, there is a vast, silent space at the very bottom of our globe, a place over which these silver birds of commerce rarely, if ever, fly. This is Antarctica, the great white continent at the end of the world. Why, in an age where we can journey from London to Sydney in less than a day, does this place remain so isolated from the skies above? It is a question that reveals a fascinating story, not of mystery, but of the immense power of nature and the careful calculations of humankind. The silence in the Antarctic sky is not accidental. It is a deliberate and necessary emptiness. To understand why aircraft avoid this land, we must first understand the land itself. Antarctica is a continent of superlatives. It is the coldest, it is the driest, it is the highest, it is the windiest, it is a desert but not of sand, it is a polar desert of ice. An immense sheet of frozen water covers almost the entire landmass, in places nearly 3 miles thick. This ice holds around 70% of the world's fresh water. The sheer scale of it is almost beyond comprehension. A breathtaking beauty forged from the most extreme conditions. Temperatures here are life-shattering, the lowest ever recorded, minus 89.2 degrees Celsius. Even in summer at the coast, temperatures rarely climb above freezing. Airlines are businesses built on efficiency. The shortest path on a sphere is a Great Circle route, Sydney to Santiago, Johannesburg to Auckland. The direct path cuts toward Antarctica. Logic says, hug the polar route, yet airlines fly longer paths. Why? Safety before savings. A flight path is a carefully engineered corridor of safety. Authorities consider not just A to B, but what if something goes wrong? Twin-engine jets must remain within range of suitable diversion airports. Engine failure, medical crisis, cabin depressurization. The safety net makes ocean travel possible. Antarctica offers no such net, essentially no true diversion airports. Research strips exist, but they are rudimentary, lack aids and services, and cannot handle wide-body airliners, so airlines plot northerly arcs, adding miles and fuel, but staying inside invisible safety boundaries with a viable Plan B. Long-haul flight is governed by ETOPS, Extended-Range Twin-Engine Operations Performance Standards. Early twins stayed within 60 minutes of an airport. Reliability rose, limits extended. Many jets fly ETOPS 180, ETOPS 240 and beyond. Some, like the A350, are certified up to ETOPS 370, over 6 hours to safety. Even so, crossing Antarctica's center lies outside any acceptable ETOPS envelope. Vast stretches would be over 6, 7, even 8 hours from a viable landing site. No regulator accepts that risk. On one engine, the aircraft could not reach safety. ETOPS effectively draws an impassable line around the continent. It's not just engines, fires, medical events, the clock is always ticking. The ability to divert quickly underpins aviation safety. More engines don't solve missing infrastructure or extreme weather and navigation challenges. Beyond rules lie the raw physical challenges. At cruise altitudes, temperatures push certified operating limits. Jet A1 freezes around minus 47 Celsius. Prolonged exposure risks fuel crystallization and blocked lines that can starve engines in the cold of the plateau. Weather is violently unpredictable. Forecasts are sparse. Clear sky one moment, hurricane-force winds, and zero visibility the next. Whiteout erases the horizon. Safe landing becomes nearly impossible. Dense, frigid air changes performance while polar atmospheric profiles raise pressure altitude. Instruments may show 35,000 feet, but it can feel higher for bodies and pressurization systems, shrinking useful consciousness in emergencies. Response time becomes razor-thin, average plateau temperatures near minus 57 Celsius. Airliners lack polar survival kits. Rescues are slow, slides and rafts are useless. The best way to survive Antarctica is not to be there. For centuries, the compass guided mariners and aviators. Near the magnetic poles, its behavior becomes erratic. Field lines plunge toward the ground, the needle can spin or dip, navigation fails. Modern airliners use INS and GPS. INS, immune to magnetics, can still drift over time. GPS, geometry, favors mid-latitudes. Polar coverage can mean fewer satellites and less accurate fixes. Solar activity disrupts GPS and high-frequency radio more intensely at the poles. At the geographic pole, headings flip 180 degrees. Flight computers need special logic to cope. Add scarce ground aids and possible comms blackouts, and the Antarctic sky's isolation deepens. Airlines scrutinize every decision with cost-benefit logic. Few city pairs truly benefit from a trans-Antarctic path. Markets like Johannesburg-Auckland or Santiago-Sydney aren't high volume. Demand may not fill a daily wide body. Special training, survival procedures, and equipment add costs. Payload might be restricted to carry more fuel and meet performance margins. Half-empty planes lose money. Northerly routes through hubs remain more economical and predictable. The romantic image collides with Oldard Simmer, Sard, Enfo, Enden So, Borsars. Low demand, high cost, unmitigated risk. Business says no. The silent sky over the South Pole is, in its way, economically efficient. The blank space breeds myths and conspiracies. Speculation suggests secrets or ice wall fantasies. Science, not secrecy, explains the gap. Antarctica is flown regularly by specialized research logistics. These aircraft ferry people and tons of cargo across the ice, even to the South Pole. Sightseeing flights cruise above the coastline and trans-Antarctic mountains, without landing. They remain within ETOPS range, under strict protocols. Real operations undermine conspiracy notions. The reasons are practical: safety, weather, navigation, economics. Antarctica's isolation is a natural fact to be respected. The Antarctic sky is empty of airliners for many interconnected reasons. The environment challenges machines and people alike. Distances and infrastructure gaps prevent meeting safety rules. Economics provide no compelling business case. Technology evolves. Efficiency, range, and reliability improve. Future engines and materials may beat the cold. Navigation could become pinpoint at the poles, independent of external signals. Perhaps reliability reduces diversion needs, but true trans-Antarctic routes would still require polar airports, aids and emergency services, an immense controversial undertaking. For now, the blank remains. In a hyper-connected world, some silence is welcome. The empty sky over Antarctica reminds us there is still a place so wild and formidable that we let nature write the rules.